I'm gay. So this is my story. So this is my story about coming out as gay. And I still have issues with being gay, even though it was when I was 16, 17 I think I was, and I'm 32 now. And I still am concerned by the stigma of being gay, even though we're super progressional now, and it's still something that I struggle with to this day. So yeah. If you're watching this because you are gay and you haven't come out, or you are gay and everyone knows, then you know when you're a kid growing up that you have emotions and feelings towards guys instead of girls. And I've known pretty much my whole life, because when I was a kid I wanted to play kiss chase with the boys instead of girls, and yeah, like I had crushes on guys. I had crushes on a couple of girls as well, but they liked me, I guess. There was one girl that absolutely did not like me that I crushed on so hard, but that's a whole nother story. But as for coming out, I didn't choose to come out. I got forced out. And that was really hard because I was in school. I had just left school, but during school my best friend came out as gay, and I saw the way that he got treated, and for me that was like a big sign of like, don't come out because you'll get treated that way, which sucks. So the start of the story is my other best friend is straight, and he invited me to play pool or snooker at a snooker hall with him and a few of his friends. And he was like really cool, and like, you know, I think he knew deep down, but like he never said anything or like wasn't bothered by it or whatever. And I went to play pool, and I was like insecure and like super shy at that time, so that was like a whole thing. But I went, and there was this one guy there who was openly bisexual and super like outgoing and loud and like quite bubbly and flirtatious. And me being me, I knew I was gay, but like I never knew how to express it or to show it to anyone. And he and I were talking, and he needed to get home, so did I, because we were 16 and we didn't drive. Like in England it's 17 to drive. And my best friend's sister gave me and him a ride home, and in the car he was sat behind me, and he put his arm behind the car seat and was playing with the seam of my jacket on the back, which to me was obviously like an inclination, like that felt nice. So like I don't understand what to do in this situation, and then he asked me for my number, and I gave it to him because I was like, well, it's another friend, like that's cool, I'm like chill. And he like texted me the next day and was like, hey, do you want to come stay over on like Thursday night? Like we can watch a movie, just chill out and hang out and stuff. And I was like, yeah, that sounds cool. Like I'd like to get to know this guy, like whatever. And the night came and I was like super nervous because I had only stayed over at a few people's houses before. I got bullied a lot at school and was like always quite insecure about like being outside of my comfort zone, I guess, because I had a lot of people who like didn't like me because I was friendly with their girlfriends and stuff like that, and they thought I was a threat. Little did they know I was gay. My camera cut off. So I went over to his house with no idea of what was gonna happen or anything like that, and he and I just like chilled out. We watched a movie, and like, you know what it's like when you're like watching a movie and someone gets a bit closer, etc, etc, because you could tell that we both liked each other, and I had no idea how to instigate or, you know, any of that stuff, and he kissed me, which was, you know, good. And later on that night, like we fooled around a little bit. We didn't sleep together. I was like still a virgin, so like, yeah, we just like did a few things. And And then we like slept in separate beds and stuff, which was like confusing for me because I thought we'd sleep in the same bed. I actually think we slept top to toe, which was weird. So the next morning we woke up and I went home, he went to college, and about lunchtime I started getting some text messages from people that I knew who were at college saying, hey, I just heard this about you, is it true? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, and I started to freak out because the first guy that I had ever kissed, and all of a sudden now my friends are starting to message me saying, hey, like, are you gay? Like, it's okay, but like, are you gay? So I get a call from my best friend and she's like, hey, just so you know, this kid, like whatever his name is, like I know his name but I'm not gonna say it, this kid is shouting around college that you and him did this last night, and like everybody, telling everybody. A lot of my like friends went to college with him and knew who he was, and they all heard it and were like blowing my phone up being like, hey, what's going on? Is this true? Is this what's happening? And I like shut down, like my mentality, my whole mind just shut down, like as if somebody could do this to me. I was like insecure anyway as a kid, and like I'd been bullied and stuff, so like this was like next level. I couldn't believe somebody did this to me. And I thought I was gonna lose all of these people out of my life that I thought I wanted in my life, like they were important and stuff. And like obviously I freaked out, like anyone does, especially if that happens to them. But I mean, I moved to London I think after that and lived with my dad for a bit. And I think I told my dad I was gay after that, because I didn't, it sounds bad, but I didn't really care if he agreed with it or disagreed with it. Like it wasn't my problem. And if he wanted to disown me for that, like I was okay with that, because like it's who I was, and he was okay with it. Like later on in life I had my sister, she was like 6 years old and I was like 20, I think about 20, and you know, she asked why I didn't have a girlfriend, and I was like, well, I don't like girls, I like guys. And she was like, what do you mean? And then my dad got mad at me and we had a huge fight because he didn't want me to tell her that I was gay because whatever reason. But like that's okay, I guess that's his mentality of that. But he accepts it now, and you know, is that like I'm married and things. I'm not wearing my wedding ring because it like plays havoc with like my tattoo on the inside, so I'm just giving it a break. So I end up going back up to where I was from, and like me and my mum are walking through town, and of course like I've got so many bad memories of this like town. Like I have very few good memories there, and we're walking through town and like instantly I like put up a wall, I like put these shells up and like freak out, and then the guy who told all my friends that I was gay walks past us and like looks at me and smiles or something, and I instantly shut down and like cry, and my mum's like, are you okay? And I'm like, there's that asshole that told everyone I was gay. And my mum's like, what? And I'm like, what? And she's like, I think we need to talk when we get home. So of course inside my head, like my whole world's like crashing down. Like now my mum knows, like my mum and my dad don't talk that much at all. So that was like the next thing. So I was like crying the whole way home, like freaking out, like, oh no, like she's gonna like hate me because I'm like scared of like people knowing I'm gay and disowning me and stuff. And so then she and I sit down and she turns around and she's like, so what do you want to tell me? And I'm like, I'm gay, I think. And she's like, how long have you known? And I'm like, my whole life. And I was like, what do you think? Like, are you okay with it, sort of thing? And she was like, I've known since you were like a kid. And I was like, what do you mean? And she goes, well, just like your mannerisms and the things that you do, and that you like, you would like freak out if a spider was running towards your shoes, or like wanting to wear her high heels and stuff. But I mean, she was like completely fine with it, she was cool with it, but it's still super scary to tell your mum that you know is going to be okay with it. But yeah, that was like basically how I came out. And then after that, I dated somebody for like a short period of time, and then the guy that like forced me out, like I ended up dating him for like 2 years, and that was like the most traumatic like relationship of my life, I guess. And that like was crazy, like so many trust issues stemmed from that. And if he ever watches this, I want you to know that like you didn't win, I guess. If you're watching this and you are thinking of telling people, honestly, I would have the courage to do it yourself before somebody does it for you. If you ever feel like you can't truly be who you are and you're worried that they're gonna leave or you're not gonna have any friends, well, you make new friends. You make better friends and people that support you. You lose the negativity in your life. Those people that suppress and stop you from being who you are the people that shouldn't be in your life anyway, because they're the people that are gonna hold you back in life. If it's in love or success or wealth or job prospects or like anything, like playing sport or excelling at sport or playing video games or anything, if somebody is a negative person that you're trying to impress, then they're not worth having. You should get people that support you 100% in your endeavor with the same interests. Otherwise, don't bother. It's pointless. Yeah, and that goes for family too. Your family needs to support you 100%, and if they're gonna disown you for being gay, you're better off without them, because why should you have to be somebody different to please them? That's not fair. If you wouldn't do that to somebody else, then why should you have to have that done to you?